Hello and welcome to Calgary Mount Scrapmore with Brenda. I'm Brenda and today we're here with a very simple basic 4-patch. This is part of our playing with traditional blocks. And a 4-patch don't get no more traditional than that. So there's a couple of tricks I want to show you on the 4-patch and that'll help this 4-patch lie absolutely perfectly flat and you get your desired results if you're doing tiny piecing. But first, I want to talk to you about Brandy. She's the 100 Proof Quilter. Now her YouTube channel is going to be in the show notes below. Just hit your see more button. While you're there, check out our Facebook group because that Facebook group is making use of the rooms, and we also have pattern drops there, and we also do the voting for the virtual monthly sew date on Zoom. Now as we're filming this, I don't know when that sew date is, so because we're filming ahead, because we visit grandchildren and we just film ahead and it works that way. And so if we voted, the Zoom link will be in the show notes below. If we haven't voted, I'll let you know. Okay, so come on in. We've got some fun little sewing here to do. Okay, 4 patches. I'm going to do two 4 patches. And basically I'm going to do them by chaining. Now chaining is kind of an important tool that a lot of quilters use, because what happens when you chain pieces, you get lots done very quickly. So now we're just going to lay all of this stuff over, right? And we're going to chain it all the same way. Now you would have, when you're doing, make sure all your white on white's going the right way. There we go. So when you're doing a large project, you would have lots of these ready to go. So what you do is you just keep moving your stuff as if it's in a block. Okay, just like so. And the next one. Now once your block is done, what I like to do is I like to snip it and keep it away from the block behind it. Just because now this is fully webbed together, I can take it to a retreat and I don't have a problem. Now, what we're going to do is keep chaining. This is why these leader and enders are so wonderful. I'm going to press to the dark. So I'm just going to press this way. Now, the seams this way and that way. So that's get rid of the red thread. That's going to nest. That's going to nest beautifully. But the only way it nests beautifully is if you keep them all. It'll nest beautifully with all the other 4 patches as long as you sew them all the same way, because they can swirl in different directions. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go, and I have that nice sharp point, because one is going this way and one's going that way. This one gets pulled this way as the foot of the machine rolls over it. This bottom gets dragged forward because of the feed dogs, right? So now you've got this very tight, this tight nesting going on. So that's probably the best way to do your 4 patches, I find. But so here we are, and lay this out again press to the dark. I'm just finger pressing these. I'm not, getting excited over much here. And I'm going to sew it down the same way. Now all of these have gone with the dark in first. And you can clip this center seam if you like. If you're having a little issue and one is a little bit bigger than the other, you clip it and nest it because you can feel it with your fingers. And you just keep going. Now, I didn't clip this one. I'm clipping it now. There, I've clipped that center thread, right? So when you kind of open this up, this is how you get your really flat center. You open it up, you see 2 of them. It's going, for me, it's going clockwise, right? So if this goes clockwise and that goes clockwise, you just break open that middle like that, and you end up with a perfectly flat little center. See? Perfectly flat. Okay. Perfectly flat, and you also have a little 4 patch in the center. Now when you flip that over, it's nested beautifully, right? So let's get the other one off, because this this didn't look like a heart. There's a lot of things going on with a 4-patch. So you take it, and after a while you get good enough at these where you just kind of take them and shake them. So this, in order to make this all swirl the same way, clockwise for me, right, you just pull them open. Now, this one's not pulling open as well because I have my stitches set at 25 to 30 because I do a lot of foundation paper piecing. So sometimes you have to get in there and just dig out a couple of those stitches with your stitch ripper. We're not, you know, you're not doing major surgery. You're just doing that little bit of, and now this all of a sudden swirls lovely. Not only that, but when you want to sew them together, they are already going different directions. So these two will, when you pick them up to make, let's say, a checkerboard border, these two already nest. But you have to sew them all the same way, nest your seams really well, swirl your points to get that really flat center. And when you sew these two together, you can swirl it again, but it's probably going the opposite way. Now I'll just show you what I'm talking about here. When you sew these two together, now it doesn't matter which side you sew together, they're all going to nest, right? Because you can see that, how they're all nesting. The seams are all going the wrong way, the different ways. So let's just sew that down this side. Okay. And the seam now is going the opposite way. So you have to feel this more with your fingers. Is this really where I need to be? Yes, it is. And now you just reach down, you finish sewing, you pull it out, and you'll see now that seam will go the other direction because it's the center one. So now, in order for make this work, I have to pull it apart the other way. And there we go. And yes, I probably should loosen off, back off my stitches a bit. So here we are. So nice. There. So with that, you just pull this apart, and now we have this. And that looks pretty good for my nest. So we'll show you in our ta-da moment what we're doing. So this is a little 4-patch we did, and then we put 2 together, so we had a 4x2, and then I decided, okay, if I'm sewing them all the same way, I can make a 4x4 and make a 16 patch, right? So from this 16 patch, then you could go to an 8x8 or, you know, 64, like a 64 patch. And this works with either 2-inch squares, 1.5-inch squares, 2.5-inch squares, 3.5-inch squares. It works the same way. Now I'm going to get my cameraman to show you how this all comes together on the back. And what happens is the seams start to tessellate, but all of those seams are swirled flat. And that's how you get that really flat, consistent block. Okay? So, and they're a lot of fun to play with. These guys are just cute. Now if you wanted to, you could do all colors and then put little corners, you know, those flip and stitch corners on the end, and then you'd have a ball of color. I mean, they're just cute. You can have lots of fun with these. So I hope you have an amazing week ahead and everything goes right for you in your sewing room. Okay, you take care until then. Bye! My husband and I would love to thank you for coming along with us on our quilting journey and the YouTube adventure that we're on. We have some wonderful plans for 2023, and it includes a lot more, like with the Facebook group and the rooms feature and sewing and hanging out with people. Those monthly Zoom sew dates are still in the works. We have a lot of fun ideas coming up for 2023, and we hope you share, like, and subscribe with your friends. That little notification button and subscribing to us really helps us out. Commenting helps us out too. So if you like what you're seeing, let us know. Even send us a heart on the comment. That helps so much for us. Okay, you have an absolutely fabulous 2023, and all of our best wishes for you in the future. Okay, take care. Bye.